I'm not gonna lie for y'all. I'm a bit pissed off today, right? I'm a bit pissed off because I find like this conversation is always coming up ever so often in the FGC. We have the conversations, and then 2 months down the line, somebody will ask the same exact question again. So, what are we talking about today? It's very simple. It's a question asked by Javitas Arias, and he asks, what kind of content do you think is missing in the FGC? This is a question that has been asked before, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna have this whole discussion and it's gonna be asked again. Now, me personally, I have yet to really start producing the content that I wanted to produce on this channel. One of the main things that I always want to produce videos that can generate some sort of discussion. So you see those videos where when I'm finished and we're uploading, we could have a conversation around it and we could talk in the comments below. Those are my favorite videos, and that's the videos that I aim to produce every time I produce some content. And I'm working on how to get better at that. But this today, I really wanted to speak on this because I went off, I won't say went off on Twitter, but I made this thread on Twitter and then I remembered, oh damn, like nobody listens to me on Twitter. Like I have to come back to YouTube. This is where the audience is at. This is where you guys are at. So let's get into what I said. So FGC content sucks because the pros don't make what the people want, but the people only want videos from the pros. I laugh when good or pro players say, why did my reaction to XYZ pop off, but my tutorial video, always like, here's this cool mod we found, 40k. Guys, here's how to sidestep, and you get 10k. Hold on, I'll get into that. Your core audience does not want to improve, they care about you. The community craves the people behind the buttons. It's why Evo works, it's why Red Bull Committee works, it's why the Pro World Tours work. The average viewer doesn't want to get better at these games because there's no good return. A fact which is constantly peddled by the top 1%. A matter of fact, what even fuels me to tweet that out is because recently there was an upload by Versus Vortex. Now, that is some good content. Xian recently spoke about his experience with the Capcom Cup Pro Tour, where essentially he prepared for 5 months to get $5,000 at the end. So it kind of comes up to him essentially getting $1,000 per month to take part in this large tournament where he essentially says being a pro doesn't really pay the bills, guys. This was further emphasized by Brian F. actually commenting on that video, talking about the fact that, look, he went to a Texas Showdown, I believe, tournament over the weekend. Excellent footage and gameplay by Brian. He really popped off with Ed. We love Ed over here. So anybody popping off with any boxer, ratings to you. But he went there and he essentially said, look, I got more money from this event than somebody who probably went and traveled to Japan. It is not lucrative to be a pro player. That's why he had to create the hybrid model of being Brian F., the guy who's really good at fighting games and plays fighting games, and the content creator Brian F., who makes good fighting game content, right? Let's continue. So why spend 5 hours to practice my combos and attack range to maybe get $50 from a local when that time could be invested into literally anything more productive? The FGC needs more artists, business minds, and strategists to propel it beyond big names being those who play well. So we need more people, more diverse people being a part of the conversation in terms of what they contribute to fighting games. Do you contribute remixes to songs? Do you create playlists for fighting game streamers? Do you do the art of fighting game streamers? Why is the venue so good? Are you on the technical team for fighting game streams? Like all of that, these are the names that have to be mentioned and have to be shown that, yo, they play an important part in the FGC, and it's not just you who has to get better at this game, okay? How many times will your GOAT upload the how to improve at XYZ before they realize that is not what anyone wants? I swear, I think I've seen about 5 videos with Justin's face attached to it, or 5 videos with Pong the God's face attached to it, talking about how to improve at these games, and then they get like 40,000 views or so. Not bad, really good numbers. I ain't achieved that yet. But then there's also the videos where they talk about their experience in this tournament, break down their mentality, and just speak about how they approach this game, and it gets way more views. And why is that? Because they figured it out, okay? So Max figured it out. Objectively, that's the biggest fighting game content creator. There's nobody doing it like Max, and possibly the most lucrative fighting game content creator. So Max figured it out, Core A figured it out, and look at their content. People care about people who make content with care for people. I'm not gonna lie for you guys. The FGC content right now is very repetitive because I don't know how many times we need videos breaking down footsies. I don't know how many times we need videos breaking down defense, and I've done those type of videos. I've seen the type of response they get. But then I see the simple discussion videos go off, and I think I also see when people value hearing the perspective from people who they literally look at. There's a reason why I'm more enthused at looking at Angry Birds Ken than the random Ken online who won't even upload his voice nor face to show us how to do this combo. I'm enthused because I understand the persona behind Angry Bird. I understand who this person is going to this competition versus somebody I have no reason to actually gain any sort of emotional attachment to. The FGC is not suffering because they're not making content for the FGC. The FGC is suffering because they're not making content for people outside of the FGC. Let me show you an example of when you can create content for the FGC that works and extends beyond. Fidix is one of the greatest examples of somebody who is not only eating well, but contributing to the community very well. Around the time of Tekken 8's release, Fidix actually started all of these tutorials, all of these very well done instructional videos around how to get better at Tekken. Now, this might be crazy because I just recently stated that people don't care about seeing how to get better at the game, right? Here's the thing. Fidix already has a lot of proof to his content in terms of where he speaks from. It's definitely from an informed place. And he's not just a creator trying to babble off and create content to, kind of get that tutorial rush. He's also a creator who has now extended his understanding to people outside of the FGC, to people who don't necessarily play these games to come inside of the FGC. What does that do? That automatically creates interest, not only from their end, but also it creates interest in whoever's looking at these people. They've been targeting big names. You've got RDC making videos with Fidix. Afro Senju, who is already a gamer, but wasn't delving into Tekken 8. Freaking Tekken 8. My man went from playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, which is something that the FGC would essentially shun, would want to turn away from. Is like, we don't play arena fighters, but this person is still bigger than most, if not possibly like 80 or 90% of the FGC content creators. As a matter of fact, I could go on to say like 99.9% of the FGC content that pure return 2D fighters or 3D fighters, he's bigger. Now, what does that mean? Most people just run and say it's a casual audience. But bro, let me ask you a question. If it is that you've got 40,000 people who care about this content, and you have 1 million people over here starving for a type of content that they essentially always express what they want, and you don't appeal to them, why are you mad that they exist? You're okay with your 40,000, stick with that. That is your cap. But now we always come back and ask, how do we expand the FGC? But you only want to make videos or content that caters towards the 40,000. You've got 1 million people over there. Everybody is always making these points that these modern fighting games are just appealing to more casual people and yet none of us, me included, have been able to tap into the casual audience. Why is that? It's because we're not in touch with what the casual audience wants to see. Despite the fact that the numbers are there to prove they want more discussion. They want more events, more in real life events where people could go, could talk to each other. There's a beef. Crazy to me how the LTG Viscount saga, that whole beef set, is a lot popular than multiple videos that have come since then. And that is because of the personality and that whole beef and that whole rivalry that was picked up there. The moment, and that's weird to me. Sometimes I see a little bit of controversy, a little bit of push, a little bit of competition rising in the FGC, and the moment it rises, people are like, no, this is toxic. This is not the environment that we're in. Guys, please, we've got to keep this a positive environment. Man, shut up. Shut up, bro. Like I'm not advocating for negativity here, but I'm advocating that you're in a competitive scene. When competition rises up and people are like, bro, you're not all that, do this, falsify me, yada yada yada. People get involved. People are like, yo, I want to see this person. I'm rooting for this person because they stand on certain principles that I agree with. I'm rooting for this person because I don't like that guy. Why do you think MMA and boxing succeeds? Why they have these weigh-ins? Why they have these press conferences? No, I'm not saying that Evo needs to have a press conference with the top 4 or the top 2, but that's why Red Bull Kumite had a vibe that no other fighting game competition has been able to match. Yo, Rob, y'all went in with the presentation in terms of just keeping that energy and being like, yo, like, you're trash, you know? That was real. That was real, bro. And just ripping up the paper and be like, nah, get out ahead. That was real. But you know what? That event had layers. Somebody had to do the art for these fighters. Somebody had to set up that venue to make this all come together. Obviously, Red Bull kind of essentially carried the event. And now it's like a question, where do we get more sponsorship from? No. You have people in the FGC right there. Utilize these people. You know what type of content is missing, people? We ain't missing no documentaries. We're not missing no character breakdowns. We're not missing no tutorials. That content is already there and it exists in droves. You want to know what's actually missing? People who are incentivized to contribute to the FGC beyond being able to press buttons. Bro, not everybody's gonna be good at this. Not everybody's gonna figure that shit out. Not everybody's going to completely understand that my contribution is because I understand these technical aspects. Nah, here's some art of Chun-Li. I put it on a shirt. Boom. Sell that. Here's some things we want to get a bigger prize fund for our locals. We have this event coming up in a month. Here's how you contribute. You could get an exclusive hoodie or a sweater or something and employ people who are going to be more willing to make good merch rather than the lazy things that we're actually getting from these companies. Like Street Fighter 6 is willing to put a JPEG, a PNG file of Aki on a shirt and sell that to us. Get some of these good graphic designers, let them make some good merch, put that out there, sell. Eventually, you could increase your prize pools. You could actually have people who have these skills come on. It's why Evo has these little booths. It's why more and more events are trying to tell artists, look, come on, sell your stuff here. Because that's what the FGC needs. People could have a conversation about what the GOATs are doing without actually being the top players. Because there's a way to understand the game on a technical level. Understanding and execution are they're not the same. There are some people who may never drop a combo, but they understand why that links because of cancel and yada, yada, yada. And why this is the best because this does more meta game. They could explain optimal to you. These are the people that we need. More commentators who actually know what's going on instead of just making noise on the mic when something is happening and be like, oh, that was lit, crazy. No. We need people who could actually sit down and vocalize, look, do you know why this player did that? As a matter of fact, he did that back in XYZ. This is why he does. Like, listen, the FGC isn't growing because the FGC just wants to be the FGC. It has no appeal outside of the fighting game community. That's why we're not missing content. People don't care about the content that we're making. FGC content sucks. Why do you think Max makes good content? He speaks about Scorpion skins breakdown. You know how much people actually care about Scorpion to the point where they want to see how they've changed this character from a character design wise perspective instead of why Scorpion sucks in MK1 and why he needs buffs. We're constantly talking about tier lists which are completely opinion based and have no relevance to somebody who just wants to just load up Battle Hub or casual matches and just have a good time. These tier list discussions are boring. The FGC content sucks, bro. My content could be 100 times better. And that's why I don't even want to make the type of videos that I made in the past before. Because it's like, how do I now make better videos. As a creative myself, how do I make videos that are not just me sitting down in this room talking to you guys? That's the questions that we need to ask ourselves. What lesson can you take away from the fact that improving at Tekken is hard? Can you also take away that lesson and be like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, Tekken was hard, but you know what was harder? Me learning the keyboard, bro. And then I just started to play the keyboard, and now I'm like very interested in the songs that are made around Tekken, and I want to make a remix to this. And that's the kind of content we need. I don't gonna lie for y'all, that's the type of content we need. And we have small content creators who are probably making much better videos than some of these goats, some of these pros, but they don't get the attention because obviously they don't receive the views. So you're looking at somebody who said how to get better at Street Fighter 6. They want to give you that in 8 minutes. 40,000 views, also a pro face attached versus the dude who is very meticulous, gonna break it down, gives you that video in 40 minutes and the low view count because nobody knows who he is. And when you look at it, the qualities are very different because one person is just telling you just react to drive impacts better, and the next person is telling you why your drive impact reactions are slow, where is the best situation in which most people would use drive impact, why you shouldn't drive impact in neutral, stuff like that. That's the case. So it just simply, I don't know. Did I just go off on a rant? I think that's the first time I go off on a rant like that for all you. But it's more so a case where this conversation just comes up. And I don't think anybody has any ill will by asking the question nor participating in the question. But I genuinely think that at this point, bro, the reason why this question annoys me is because you guys have had way too much time to figure it out. It's gotten to a point where even answering that question is not beneficial because you're just now looking at people who might look into that thread to see, let me see what people want, and then you limit their creativity. It's time for us to award people who are willing to put in the work. I think that's why Korea Gaming to this day, everybody's asking where's Korea Gaming. He was making good content, excellent content. Am I asking for somebody to be the second coming of Korea Gaming? Maybe, if you can. But no, not really. Be your own self. Be somebody who makes content for the people. Not only within the FGC, but somebody who might be looking outward and they're like, let me check out fighting games. Let me see what this is about. And it's that simple. Sometimes you see the pros basically get mad that games are becoming more inclusive or accessible. And then it's like, you really don't care about the scene's expansion. Like, why would we even elevate you or even give you praise simply because you have results when you don't want more people in this? You don't want this to grow, But yeah, that was just what I wanted to do and keep it real with you guys. Honestly, I don't want you to think that I'm mad. I just kind of got passionate there, and it's just a case where I think it's time for us to stop, all the complaints and come up with some new content. That's why I myself, as I have told you, I'm not really satisfied 100% with the videos that I'm uploading. And it may change the schedule of how I upload, but definitely there's a different vibe that I want to bring and contribute when I start to upload. Essentially, what the FGC needs is more people. I don't really care. Some of us, majority of us, don't really care about the gameplay. Fighting games are not as dynamic looking as many people would like them or would have fooled themselves to believe. There's a lot of games that you can't even understand if you don't even understand them at a certain level. It looks very boring to beginners. So as much as y'all would not like certain styles that certain games bring across and certain elements that they're trying to push, it's because this shit was kind of boring to look at, and this is what they're doing so more people could look at it. You could call it sellout, you could call it whatever, but that is what it is because even they have recognized this is how they could boost their product. So yeah, we just need more content around people, and like honestly, like the guys who are good at this game, dog, just don't be afraid to talk to us, please. Like, just talk or get in a discussion with each other. Like, the internet has us also connected. My first collab on this channel was with somebody who lives all the way in England, and I'm from the Caribbean. Like, some of y'all live in the same region, and y'all can't collaborate. That's weird. Especially in this day of the internet. Do better. You understand? But yeah, guys. Thanks for viewing today's video. Hope you made it to the end. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what's up with you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, stay gaming.